All right, let's get right into it. Scientists have found something buried deep, deep under Greenland's ice, and honestly, it rewrites what we thought we knew about our planet's stability. This is a story from the deep past, but it's really a critical warning for all of us right now.
Just take a look at this. This is the Prudhoe Dome in northwest Greenland. It looks completely permanent, right? Ancient, untouchable. I mean, it's a 2-kilometer thick shield of solid ice. It feels like it's been there forever. But as we're about to find out, that's not the whole story. Not even close.
You see, the real story isn't what's on the surface. It's what's buried underneath. So you have to ask, what secrets could possibly be locked away in the rock and soil 2 kilometers under all that ice? Well, the answer is a total game changer.
It all starts with one single, startling clue. A piece of evidence that forces us to rethink everything we thought we knew about this massive ice sheet.
And here it is. This is just staggering. The Prudhoe Dome, this supposedly permanent, stable part of the ice sheet, was completely gone. And we're not talking millions of years ago. We're talking just 7,000 years ago. That's a blink of an eye in geological time, and way, way more recently than anyone ever imagined was possible.
But you know, the timing is what really gets you. This didn't happen because of some massive asteroid or a crazy volcanic era. No, this happened during the Holocene, a pretty calm, stable period in our climate's history. This is when human civilization was really just getting started with agriculture, and a period of only mild natural warming was enough to melt this entire chunk of ice.
So, how on earth did scientists figure this out? How do you uncover a ghost landscape buried under kilometers of ice? Well, the story of the discovery is almost as dramatic as the finding itself.
This amazing work comes from the GreenDrill project. Their mission is pretty straightforward but incredibly difficult. Drill all the way through the ice and pull up samples of the ancient ground beneath. And to give you some perspective, scientists actually have fewer rock and soil samples from under Greenland's ice than we have from the moon. Seriously, the moon. And this work is so hard. During their big 2023 expedition, they were getting close to the bottom when disaster struck. A fracture appeared in the ice. The entire mission was right on the edge of failure. It came down to a last-minute, desperate switch to a different kind of drill bit, which allowed them to push through those final 390 feet.
As one of the project's leaders, Jason Briner, said, the tension was just immense. It was stressful right down to the final minute. But that last-ditch effort paid off. They broke through, and they finally got their hands on the ancient material they traveled all that way for.
Okay, so they have the sample. Now what? How do you get these ancient rocks to whisper their secrets from thousands of years ago? Well, the answer is in this absolutely fascinating scientific technique.
It's called luminescence dating. And at its core, it's a really cool way to figure out the last time a piece of rock or sediment actually saw the sun. It all comes down to measuring these tiny amounts of energy that get stored inside mineral grains over time. Let me break that down for you. So think of it like this. While they're buried, these little mineral grains act like tiny rechargeable batteries, soaking up energy from the natural radiation that's all around them. Then, the moment those minerals are exposed to sunlight, that stored energy is released as a very faint glow. So back in the lab, scientists can measure that glow, and it tells them the exact date the sample last saw daylight. Pretty cool, huh? And the result from their analysis? The dating showed the sediment last saw the sun between 6,000 and 8,200 years ago. This is direct, physical proof that around 7,000 years ago, there was no ice here. The sun was literally shining on bare ground. So this isn't just a cool history lesson. This discovery is a direct, and I mean direct, and very urgent warning for our world today. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The natural warming that melted Prudhoe Dome back then was about 3 to 5 degrees Celsius warmer than pre-industrial times. Well, guess what? Climate projections show we could hit those exact same warming levels, this time driven by us, by the year 2100. The past showed us what happens. The future, well, that's the question mark we are all writing the answer to right now. And, you know, this isn't just about Greenland. By finding these vulnerable weak points, the places in the ice sheet that have melted before, scientists can build much more accurate models. They can better predict which parts of the ice are most likely to go next, and that helps us understand which coastal communities all around the world face the greatest threat from rising seas. As the other co-lead, Georg Schaefer, says, this whole method of using direct evidence from beneath the ice, it's a game changer. It means we can finally stop just speculating and start using hard, observational data.
and that is absolutely critical for making accurate predictions.
So with this incredible discovery in their hands, what's next for the GreenDrill team? Where do they go from here?
Well, this is really just the beginning. The team has more samples to analyze, including one from the very edge of the ice cap that could reveal its most vulnerable spot. They're also going to be looking for tiny traces of ancient plants to paint a picture of what a green, ice-free Greenland actually looked like.
I love this quote from Jason Briner. He says what they brought back from under the ice is a treasure chest, and it really is. Every single sample holds clues that can be pieced together to make our climate models better and help us truly understand our planet's future.
But beyond all the data, there's a really profound human side to this. For Caleb Walcott-George, a scientist who was actually there on the ice, he said the experience was just deeply humbling. To stand on something that seems so permanent, so eternal, and to know that it can disappear.
This discovery has opened up a chapter of Earth's history we never even knew was written. It proves, without a doubt, that this massive ice sheet is so much more fragile than we ever realized. So the question it leaves for us is pretty simple. Knowing this, what will our chapter of the story say?